Hello friends, welcome to C# Intermediate to Advanced tutorial. Now you are watching part 3 of the subseries Graphical Device Interface GDI+. In this video we will go to the Visual Studio and talk about the form design, and you will be seeing what are all the control names we used so that it will be easy for you when we go through the rest of the video and share the code through video description. So in this video you will see how the form is organized and what are all the control names. So these are all the video slide decks from previous 2 parts. First we got a quick primer about GDI+. Then we discussed about the example, how user will interact with the form to perform the drawing, and we use this example to learn how to draw a rectangle. Then you will be also learning how to use pen color and brushes. Now we will go to Visual Studio and look at the form design. Here you are seeing the form design. To see how the controls are organized inside this form, we will go to document outline. It will be available under other windows. And if you are not seeing that, we will go to, so here I am also not seeing it, and we will add a document outline view to the menu option. Go to tools, customize. It will be available under the view menu. So these commands are ordered, and for document outline view we should go to D. So here it is, and then we should decide where we want to place this. So I searched it here in the other windows, right? We will place on this same location. So okay, we have to move this again. Document outline, click here, drag and drop wherever you want. So let me keep it next to the resource view. So this is my document outline. Now we customized our command. We can close this dialog and you can see the document outline here. So the document outline view tells how the form is organized. Let me close this. So in our previous subseries we learned about the container controls. A group box is also a container control. That means it can house more controls, one or more controls inside it. And if you change some of the UI related property, say for example if you change faux color, or if you disable the group box, all the controls it contains will also get disabled. Likewise, there are many other container control. Here we have many group box. So group box is a container. Alright, now let me collapse all. So that's all. If you see here, this is the form. The form name is FRM draw rect. Then we will go to this group box later. We will go the direct component, or the form is the parent for all these control, and here I'm not expanding the group box, so this group box is a child of the form. So you can see the name GRP brush. So what you have to do when you are designing, you have to go to the container, drag and drop the group box in this location, then rename it as GRP brush. So we named this group box as a GRP brush because the group box contains all the controls related to the GDI brush. All right. The next one is a CHK brush enable, and this is the checkbox, and we named that as CHK brush enable. Since it is in selected state, we will go to property. Whatever is coming here as a bold lettered one, those are all the property that got changed after placing the control. If you see here for checkbox, we named it as a CHK brush enable. Auto size, we enabled that as a true. Then we keep this checkbox in a checked state. Check state also we kept it as a checked. That means here if you place true, the check state will also get checked, and if you see here it is unchecked state, and the moment I turn it on, that means when we make the checked state, that means when I place a check mark, the check state becomes a checked. And location, you can decide when you place the control, the location may change, so you no need to stick to this, but since I placed this and moved it, the default location got changed, right? That's why that's coming in bold color, I mean coming as bold. That means this property got changed after placing the control. Then size, so I'm ignoring this, and you can keep wherever you want. And tab index 18, and text is enabled, so that you have to type. So that's all about this checkbox. Now we will go to our document outline. The next one is label 8 fill brush. You can design as you like. Then the control name for this one is RAD pink, and by default it's in unchecked state, and the next one is RAD golden, this one. And if I go to property, you can see text as pale, and I mean pale golden, and you can see the checked is set to true for this group box. So this group box, these two group box, that means the pale golden and pink, these two group box belongs to the parent forum rector, which means the form. The form is the parent for these two radio button. That means when you run it, you can alternate between these two radio button, and these three radio buttons are, since placed under a radio, it's a separate container, right? You can separately check and uncheck this. The same goes for this one. All right, now let's come back. Label 4 pen size and color BTN draw. We named this button as a BTN draw. Then we have a label size, then TXT height, TXT width, these two, and where is this one, TXTX and TXTY. That's all here, and these 4 are labeled. So where did I left? So BTN draw. After that label 4, you can see size, text width, text height, and text width. You can see what control get selected when I check. Label 5 width, TXTY we already talked about, and these are all the label, no special property for this. So this one is the drawing canvas, and type is panel. That means from the container control you have to drop a panel here. Let's go to property, and if you see, we are naming this as a drawing canvas. Back color is black to perform drawing, and forecolor we are setting it as white by default. That's also, there is no special property. These 3 are the property you need to set. Other you can set as you like. So these are all the design, right? You will place and you will adjust the size, so the position and size get adjusted based position, in the sense the location and the size will get adjusted based on where you are placing and resizing using these thumbs, or we can call this as a grippers also. Grippers are used to resize the control. Alright, that's about the panel. And then we have a label, and this label is for height. Alright, now let's go to group box 1, and if you see, this is the group box 1. We haven't renamed it, so we are accepting the default of group box 1. If you want to name it, you can name it. Usually you can name it meaningfully, so that you can later in the code access the group box and enable or disable or even hide or show. So in our example, we are not going to show or hide this pen size, so we left the default name for the group box. And if you expand it, the group box is the child for the FRM draw rect. FRM draw rect itself a container. That container contains group box 1. Group box 1 is a control for this container, but it's a container for these 3 radio button. So RAD1, RAD3 and RAD5. That's the name we gave for these 3 radio button, because this is size, so we renamed it as RAD1. That means pen thickness 1, and RAD pen thickness 3, pen thickness 5. So if you want have a more meaningful name, you can use RAD pen thickness 1, RAD pen thickness 3, pen thickness 5, like that. But since in the code we refer RAD1, RAD3, RAD5, you can leave it as it is. So it's not a perfect naming convention. So when a person looks at the code, just by looking at the component name itself, so here RAD, that stands for radio button, that's okay. But so what is 1? So that may be confusing. So that's why you have to use RAD thickness 1. Anyhow, here we use the RAD1, 3, 5. So you name it as it is, so that you don't need to make code changes when we share the code snippet in the video description in the coming videos. Alright, this is about the group box 1. Next, let's expand this GRP brush. So here you are seeing, right? So this is the group box, and group box without title, I can say. That's why you are seeing it as a rectangle line. Now if I expand, you can see there is a checkbox, advanced brush, and we named it as CHK ADV brush. Then we have GRP solid brush. There is a group box, and if you see the relation here, GRP brush solid, it's a container. This container is contained by one more container, GRP brush, and this container is contained by the top level container form. So that's how this document outline is useful. So you can quickly see how panels are organized. I mean the containers are organized. Alright, now solid brush, we will expand it, and you can see we named it as RAD solid brush green. So that's the color. We named it as radio RAD SOL BR solid brush, and the color is green. So we named it like this. Then RAD solid brush blue, RAD solid brush red. So to establish a relation like this, what you have to do, so for example, here you are seeing the organized, right, parent-child relation, form, group box, then one more group box. Inside that group box we have 3 radio button. So when you are designing the form, first form you don't need to worry, because the form will be displayed. Then you will drag and drop a group box, I mean this one. Then you have to remove the title. Say for example, here in the text, if group box 1 or group box 2, if something is displayed, remove it. Then After placing the group box, inside the group box you have to drag and drop one more group box. So you will drag and drop it like this. See, if you see here, I'm not going to release the button here inside this form. I will release it outside somewhere else. This is just to explain you how the relationship will be established. So after placing your first group box, this one, and you can see in the right side GRP brush that is highlighted in blue. After placing this group box, you have to drag and drop this next group box. So that way the second group box will become a child of the first group box, and you can always bring up your document outline view and see how the relationship is forming. Then drag and drop radio button, drag the radio button and drop it inside the solid group box. That means the control goes and stays inside the GRB brush solid, thereby establishing a relation, parent-child relation. The radio button just now you dropped becomes the child of the parent group box GRP brush solid. The same way, so now GRP solid brush is the name given for this one. Why? Because we gave a name. We gave a name for this GRP brush solid because we want to show or hide this group box and all its children based on the user navigation with this advanced brush. Alright, next if you see, this is the advanced brush, and advanced brush contains some more control. These are all the control related to the hatch brush. The 4 radio button here represents the hatch pattern. So we have RAD, hat type, horizontal brick, hatch type, wave, hatch type vertical. These are all the control names. You can see which one is getting highlighted here. So then we have a label, hatch patterns, one more label. So this is a label, and at runtime we will change the content of this label, and there are some properties so that you will see the border style, different border style. Let's go for that. And the name is LBL hatch GR, auto size true, and border style, if you see, we changed it to default to fixed 3D. And then we have a different font, and if you need you can set that. Then the text, we are setting it as a gradient, and at runtime we will change the mode. That means we will change the text to hatch, and we will alternate between hatch and gradient. This looks like a button, but this is actually a label, and the appearance is because of this border style. Alright, we will go back to document outline, and now we will go to, so this is the gradient hatch group box, right? This group box contains 2 more group box. So these 2 are sibling, GB1 and GB2. For GB1, if you see, we have 2 color, already hatch color 1 blue, that's the name we gave for this, and for the second one we gave it like this. And these these radio buttons, we will use it for both gradient as well as hatch brush. If it is a gradient brush, we call the first set of color coming from this group box as a from color, gradient from, gradient to. But if it is a hatch brush, we will call it as fore color and back color. Alright, that's all about the form design. So in this video, I am sharing the project. It will be in Visual Studio 2005, so that you have the advantage of converting it to 2008 or 2010, 12, 15, whatever later version you have. So all our examples are in 2005 because it has the portability of converting it to the later version. That's the reason we are creating it in 2005. So even if you have Visual Studio 2008, you can still use the examples. But it will ask you to convert the example. You just go for convert, and it's just a single click task, and once you convert it, you can use the example. All right, whatever project this time we are going to share, it's a empty project, but it will have the form design. You can refer it if you are creating a new project. You can refer this project, or you can use it as a template and start adding the code from the next video onwards. Thank you for watching. Bye.